Karibu kwa this our second session on gender-based violence. Na in our second session, tutaangalia about domestic, online discrimination, na pia nina our psychologist here will take us through about the pointers, na pia tutajua kwa nini watu wanapitia hizi mashida zote, kwanza hizo za emotional, hizo za verbal, hizo za economical, and also these ones for domestic, online na discrimination, lakini bado wanazalia katika hizo ndoa ama katika hizo mahusiano. So Nina, karibu tena na ni asante kwa your time. Na pia before nikaribisha Nina, tembelea Nuria Kenya, upata vitabu za Nina hapo Kinya Gitonga. Ukiandika hapo kwa search Kinya Gitonga utapata vitabu zote mbili, kuna Thrive na kuna The House of Anger. Na pia ako na launch on 2nd of next month, that is December 2023. Tupatane hapo Lyons.
Yes.
Lyons hapo opposite Nairobi University, hapo karibu na Kemu, ndio tumsupport katika hiyo launch. Karibu sana Nina, na ni asante kwa kukubali kutusomesha na kutusaidia, sababu ya you are helping us, you are helping our listeners and also our followers. Na kama uja subscribe, hapa ndio tutaponea. Asante, karibu, take us through the rest of the violence.
Thank you. Katika hii session tutapata kujifunza zaidi nasema kwa kitu ambacho tunasema ni domestic violence, the online also, and discrimination as well. So I want kuanza na discrimination, where discrimination is violence that is propagated to an individual because they are female or they are male. This is also evident especially in workplaces. Wale ambapo unapata if this is a lady, I've had a lot of men complain that ladies get opportunities easily than men. I don't know how true this is, but at times you find that someone can be favored just because they are female or they are male.
Because of the gender.
Yes, access certain opportunities, and that is discrimination. The other form of violence is the online violence, whereby at times we call it cyberbullying, at times we also call it stalking. And also at times you might find that someone has access to maybe your social media account, someone has tapped in your phone without your consent. This is also a form of violence, because for once you do not have the consent of the individual, and it is also wrong because people need confidentiality. In relationships and in marriages, you find at times when maybe there are breakups, people can be threatened by I leak you, maybe your images or probably videos, which is also a form of violence. And the other form that is commonly known is what we call domestic or physical violence. Some people might call it physical abuse. And the characteristics of this form of violence is whereby there is physical abuse. Maybe someone has been hitting you or maybe slapping you. That is also a major form of violence. People might say that it is women who majorly experience this, but also men experience the same. The difference is females will always speak about it and they will report, while men do nothing about it. It's unreported, but it is happening. And we have seen at certain times in our centers whereby females do visit. You might don't know if this lady is being battered or they are being beaten, because suppose they have wounds, a lot of them will tend to cover up. Maybe it's the neck area, they have scarves around it. If it is the arms or the wrist, they ensure that they have clothes that cover maybe the bands. It may not be only slapping. At times you find someone has been burned. You've seen stories in social media whereby the husband has burnt the lady, the husband maybe has chopped off the arms of this individual, or maybe the husband has also experienced the same from the wife. And it is so sad in that victims of such form of violence, they will actually at times defend the perpetrator. Whereby it's in a counseling session and you're really wanting to understand why has it been happening, why did they beat you. At times you find them really trying to cover up. I'm the one who did this and this, I'm the one who did that, I am the one who provoked them. Let us understand that such type of covering up, there might be an issue that is lying behind, underlying issues, and they're trying to really make it seem like they're the one who did it. Maybe at times emotionally they're not okay. At times they might be in denial that it happened. So such incidences will really make you as a counselor want to really support this person. So that at times you can really help them get to see light in it, or also get to understand. And as much as maybe you provoked the individual, it shouldn't have gotten to the extent of you getting banned or experiencing physical abuse. So domestic violence is real. It is happening to both males and females. We have a lot of unreported cases, so the reported ones might be really small. And so how do you know that someone is experiencing
Before we get there,
domestic?
Nina, before we get to the pointers, because I know that is where you are going.
Yeah.
You see, I have had some cases when a woman is beaten and you ask the male, they defend the beating. They say, aliniropokea sana na dawa yake ni kupiga so that anyamaze. Is that really right? Is beating the only solution? Maybe kunyamazisha your wife because ameongea sana, nimemwambia nyamaze, she cannot keep quiet. Now you find in our community, I'll go back to Meru. There are times when beating was a norm in families, and they were so true that when you don't beat a wife, she would disrespect you. How do we really get out of that? Because I think even nowadays, some families or some men don't see it as if it is a mistake beating their wife.
We call that actions that are just done because of normalcy. This male grew up seeing their fathers and grandfathers beating their wives as form of discipline, and also as a way of making you feel manly, which is really wrong. And we also say that certain norms and actions are really outdated, zimepitwa na muda, especially disciplining someone by beating them. We've really gotten into an era whereby we can have a conversation around issues that are happening. And we've also reached in an era whereby women nowadays, they can also get to express themselves in a more appropriate manner. And so despite whatever someone might have done, it really doesn't make you want to hit them, or maybe ban their arms, maybe ban their legs so that they cannot probably go away. And remember, we said that most of this violence, they are matched. For instance, an husband has really want the wife, again, is going out to do some jobs, probably to gain money. That is financial violence. If she violates that, that's why you find them being beaten at times. If at times she tries to express herself, whereby we are having now emotional violence, she's trying to express herself and communicate, but they don't want whatever she's talking about. They might also bring in the physical aspect of the same. But let us understand that right now things have changed. Eating people as a way of discipline is not the correct way, and it trickles down to anger management. If she provokes you, can walk away, cool down, come back and talk things out, not necessarily hitting them. And that's where the aspect of this material comes on board. This is also part of my writing. The title is The House of Anger. It is a book that will create awareness so that we get to learn what anger is, how do we manage it, and also how do you get to really contain the same without it leading to violence. It's a book that is tailored for both males and females on all areas surrounding anger management. Yeah, so really hitting someone is not the solution. Yeah.
Do children face violence?
Yes. Children
Not rape, not about defilement. These are the violence like physical beating. Do children experience them?
For children, we might say it's what we call the corporal punishment. We've seen that right now people are really gearing into other ways of managing. For instance, what we call time out. Maybe just tell them, just go to your room, talk about it later. There's also grounding. You might withdraw also important luxury things that these kids values a lot. Not the basic needs, but there are some what we call just luxury
toys.
Yes, for them to learn.
Cartoons.
Yeah, and also over punishing, it has been really noted in schools. Attempts whereby someone really eats someone so very bad and it is wrong. But we learned that it's not really okay. There are several ways of punishing a child which are appropriate and not necessarily corporal punishment. Although we said that also kids experience violence. There's what we call gaslighting, sibling to sibling. There's also the blackmail, sibling to sibling. It happens. Yeah.
And can you explain a bit about the gaslighting between children?
Remember that we said violence occurs where there is power imbalance. And you find whoever propagates violence, they will always have some sort of an upper hand. So maybe it's the elder sibling that is dodging duties and they want the younger one to do it. So they always bring about blackmail, emotional blackmail. Do this or I tell mom that you did this. Do this or I tell dad that you do this. And so you find it's not only one day, it has been continuous. And now it is psychologically disturbing this child. Yeah. I remember, as I said previously, there are lots of victims who undergo violence. And when they come in for sessions, you always try to kind of protect the propagator. You find that if it's a lady, she's saying that this is the first time they did it, they never did it again. Maybe I'm the one who caused it, I'm the one who provoked them. And at times this denial is brought in about because of ignorance. It's what we call revictimization, especially to ladies. You find that if they grew up in a family whereby the mother or maybe a close auntie or relative was experiencing violence, they take it as the norm. If you're in a relationship or a marriage where you've been violated, I saw my mom experience the same and she's stuck in there, so I am also expecting to do the same. And so it is very important that we get to learn and unlearn behavior. And the ignorance can be minimized by actually creating awareness to these individuals so that they can get to learn that experiencing violence is not normal. There are relationships and marriages that are working without actually having the individuals experience violence. The next thing that we can do is learning what we call a violence cycle. This is what happens. Probably you can just evaluate the relationship and the marriage that you're in and get to understand, is it really violence or just one day occurrence? So if I'm the perpetrator, they're really trying to gain access to the individual. Maybe it's a new relationship. They're really trying to woo you into dating them. So there will be always the compliments, the gifts, the rewards, just nice moments. But then after some time, now that you're getting to normal, probably pregnancy has occurred and they feel like you're really trapped in it. Or maybe you've already been married and now they feel that you belong to them in much. They really have a lot of access to you. That's when we get into now place where there's devaluing, call it devaluation state. The first one is idealization, the second one is devaluing. Previously they used to value you with compliments, they earn time for you and everything. Now that's something else that happened, maybe there's pregnancy, maybe you've been married, you've been engaged, there's now the devalue state, whereby they are
true colors now come out.
Yes, that's when you begin to see this person for whom they are. Probably they don't have time anymore. Maybe you want them to come home early, they're not there. Maybe there's a child, they're not there for the kids. It's just you and you alone. If you try to bring up the conversation, they're not really willing to do anything. But then things have just happened and you cannot really walk out at the moment. A lot of ladies, a lot of men will stick hoping that things will change over time. And so there's now what we call the overing state, whereby they have really withdrawn for quite some time. And now they really want to come back. It's more of now the lady has expressed the essence that I want out, I want to quit, maybe I want us to break up. Now they realize that maybe it has been too much. So there's now the present moments again. They are apologizing, they're trying to make things that they are good. So to the victim side, they are not so sure, should I walk out, should I wait? It's more of a confusion state. You do not know, is it working, is it not working? And a lot of them will still stay there buying time, hoping that this person will change. That is the overing bit. And then after now you feel like I really want out, you've communicated that you really want out, that's where now there's the sorry state. Now they are really apologizing, I'll change, I'll make time. They're the gift, and now maybe you forgive them and you get back at it again. So the cycle starts. You've forgiven them, they now try to idealize again, praising you, having time and everything. So it's more of a cycle.
Then you go back to
yes,
your happiness again.
Yes, we are okay for some time. At the moment, they now withdraw, they start devaluing you. At that time, now you do not know, are we okay, are we not okay? They're apologizing, they're having time. And then it's more of a cycle up and down routine. That is now the cycle that happens. it is also evident in narcissistic relationships. Remember, narcissistic relationships, anyone can be narcissistic. The female can be narcissistic, the male can be narcissistic as well. And then, of course, the other pointers to violence, they really vary depending on the violence that you're experiencing. It might be the emotional blackmail, it can be the harsh words, it can be now the physical beating. We also say that forced sex in marriages, in relationships, is also a form of violence. We also say that whereby a person is being forced to marry someone they're not okay, they're not consented with, it's a form of violence. And also somewhere where people will really violate your confidentiality by tapping into your phone, maybe posting videos of you and pictures of you that you've not consented, and also cyberbullying, it's form of violence. We also talked about financial aspect, whereby you're being withdrawn from your family, from your friends. It's just you and the partner. It's also a form of violence. So these pointers will really help us understand the type of a relationship that we are in. And remember, in such cases, a person is psychologically not okay. They're not emotionally okay. They might be there for one reason or the other, but deep down, if you ask them, are you happy? They're not happy. Yes. Personally, I wanted that accessing people's phones is right or wrong. It depends with the individuals involved. But ideally, you need consent from your partner. Maybe they really need confidentiality or privacy, kind of. So when we have a conversation and we agree that you can access my phone at any time, you might have the password and say, I'm really okay, that's fine. But when you tap in my phone, you're really accessing my media channels when I'm asleep. That is violating my confidentiality.
For the ones that we have discussed, how can one get
assistance? First and foremost, I really want to emphasize on the domestic aspects, especially for males who are not really okay with talking about it. There's an organization that is named Usikimye. It is in Nairobi. We've seen Usikimye really assist such individuals who are experiencing violence. Suppose you really want it to be confidential, they also aid on the same. And so Usikimye really creates a lot of awareness on the GBV aspect. And they also have shelters whereby they can take in someone who has been experiencing the same for some time until they're stable enough to actually get out there. The other thing that we can insist on, a lot of people are not okay with seeking assistance. Remember when you said for GBV, at times you may be required to report in a police post. At times when there has been a lot of damage, you need to write to get a P3, something of the sort. So individuals are not really okay with accessing assistance from police posts. But now GBV centers have been incorporated in hospitals as well. So when you visit any public hospital, there's a possibility of having a GBV place, whereby such a person will get psychological assistance. They will also get help, maybe medical-wise. For instance, when it gets to maybe the sexual violence aspect, you need to be checked. You need also to be assessed and measures taken against probably exposure to HIV. So let us also utilize the hospitals in place. There's also social media, where you've seen a lot of institutions, as I talked about Penda and Zuri, psychological for better living. They are also offering the same services online. So let us utilize this so that we can get assistance. And I really want us to learn that it is okay not to be okay. It is okay for you to have experienced violence but not kept quiet about it, to actually seek assistance so that you can get really helped. Let us understand that also GBV causes a lot of psychological distress, emotional distress. So when someone chooses to reach out for support and really seek assistance, let us not judge them. Instead, let us offer unconditional positive regard to these individuals and hear them out. Yeah.
Kinya, you offer those sessions and guidance and counseling about GBV and other form of violence and anything that is concerning trauma and those distress.
Yes, I do.
You offer them online and also one-on-one or physical or counseling. We'd like to get your number as we wind up our second session, and also remind us about the launch.
Alright, I do offer our psychological assistance sessions that pertains trauma, GBV, loss and grief, everything that pertains mental wellness. There are physical and virtual sessions as well, and you can reach to me through Kinya Gitonga across our social media channels. kinyanina51@gmail, and also through 0796037994. We'll be launching my second book. The copy is here. The name is Drive. It's a book that creates awareness on mental health issues. This book is being launched on December 2nd at the Leon's Fanze, which is in Nairobi, Kenya, University Way, opposite the University of Nairobi. It's just on the same lane as Kimu University. December 2nd, 2 to 5 p.m. And I want to welcome everyone so that they can join us. We'll be having a panel discussion on matters pertaining mental health and thriving. And I hope to see you there. Thank you. See you there.
I'll see you next time. Continue subscribing to our channel. I am Irene Karamuta Masaki. Bye.